On, go. Starting the replay. How this works is both teams have to ready up, and they get 30 seconds to pick their bans and their picks. So the first ban of the game for Pretend Pros will be Revenant. Very strong ban, as we said. Revenant can snowball super well. He's very good with that obliterate, able to nuke down the health bar of anyone that comes near him and manages to stand alone in an open field sort of situation. And follow that up with the phase ban. This is phases.
No one likes the new heroes. Everyone's just banning out the new heroes.
I mean, phase is just so rough to deal with. It's so annoying. Because you have to you need to kill her. She has to go down.
It's good to see a support that has come out, because we were a while waiting for another support. After Narbash, we haven't really had a whiff of anything, and we only really had the Narbash, the Deca, and the Muriel. And Muriel kind of fell off a little bit. Now he's better with the shield buffs. So it's good to see such a high skill cap support come out, and rightly banning her because of the things she can do when in a good team camp. So the next pick we're going to see come out from Pretend Pros is the Grux. Probably the best jungle in the game. Really good for taking those objectives. OP and Raptors. And just a really good initiator as well. We saw what One More Wave did like last game. So not a surprise to see him picked up. And then the counter pick is going to be a Chimera again, followed by Muriel.
That's kind of interesting because you banned out the phase, who is Chimera's best friend, right? Instead of trying to prioritize it. However, first pick was going to Pretend Pros, so instead of Grux, they easily could have secured the phase if they so chose. And right now they're on their first pick. They chose Feng Mao with a follow up, and their next one, only 5 seconds left. They're gonna follow up with the Bellica.
Bellica, I mean, Bellica 5th pick, not banned. That to me, that is, if she's not banned, I expect it to be picked up within the first 2 picks. So
really?
To see her, she's so strong, mate. She's so strong because of how she works. Just probably the best in most circumstances. So having a Bellica on your team, that Void Drone alone. Especially early game when it's now got hit points rather than sort of the.
Oh yeah, that is annoying. Oh my god.
But late game it does get a little bit more punished because the ADC can literally look at it and it goes away.
The thing is, no ADCs ever look at it. Like they're focused on other things. And now with the drone, it's really the ADC's job to hit that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the support can't just sort of poke it anymore. If she tries to poke it, it's going to take her a while. So for the cap, we're going to see a Greystone and a Howitzer. So it looks like they're building a very strong front line with a Chimera and a Greystone backed up by Muriel. So they're going to want to take those team fights and have a very good front line to put in front of this Howitzer and whichever ADC they pick up. Yeah,
we are waiting on that second pick coming out of Pretend Pros. Their support is going to be the Narbash. Based on draft alone, I'm giving this to Pretend Pros. They have CC. There's not a lot of CC coming out of the Exiles. Not a lot of follow-up on that Chimera as well. Like, they have a Muriel, but the Muriel is going to want to protect most likely the Murdoch, who's going to be dove on by pretty much the Grux, the Fang. He's going to be stunned by the Narbash. Like, gonna be a rough time for Exiles here.
We've got the Howitzer mine, which is the only real hard CC, and then we've got the slows coming out of the Muriel, and that's going to be all right to sort of get the Chimera and the Greystone on. But looking at this Pretend Pros, they've got the Grux pull, they've got the slow from the Feng Mao, they've got a hard stun in the Bellica, they've got a hard stun in the Narbash. That's going to give all time for this Sparrow to just keep pinging out damage. So in the initial drafting phase, I think I give it over to Pretend Pros.
I would definitely, I'm going to have to agree with you that one. I'm a big fan of CC. They call it a CC meta. It's not really a CC meta. It's just CC will always, crowd control always wins out in these sort of games. In a MOBA, crowd control is king.
Yeah.
You need it.
And I think Pretend Pros come out on top with this draft with the CC available. And they've got the damage. Don't discount, because they've got a Sparrow, they've got the Grux. That's probably the two best characters for taking out the OP and the Raptors as well. So they've got the damage there. Feng Mao doesn't shy away from damage, and the Bellica, if you build a, she can do some serious damage. So they've definitely got the damage there. But on the other side, Exiles definitely have the tank to try and weather it. So we'll see how they go on.
All right, well, we'll get right into the game. Pretty much ready to get this one started.
Yeah, I'm ready at 5 seconds.
So am I. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we are now starting game 2 of the PCL NA qualifiers. Or NA qualifiers project. I'm so used to saying PCL first, Nate. It's ingrained into my brain. Yeah.
We're just conditioned, mate. We're just conditioned.
It is actually conditioning. Have you ever worked one of those jobs, a retail job, where when you'll wake up in the middle of the night, you have that tagline you always say, like, "Hello, this is EB Games." Oh, we are seeing early game aggression come out. Stiffmeister on the Chimera going to jump right on top of the Bellica, and now they do have Feng Mao going on to Murdoch, but I don't think this is going to be a kill. The Bellica will get under the tower to safety. 4 people coming out of Pretend Pros. Oh my. So they tried to get early game aggression, get a kill. Fortunately, Orange team was able to get under their tower to safety. They also tried to get into the early game invade on the right side of the map. However, they weren't able to get too far in there. Not even dropping a ward. Very curious for me. Orange team putting down some good ward coverage right now. They do see the one ward by the entrance to safe jungle closer to the duo lane, so Muriel's going to clear that one out. Yeah, to introduce, just quickly what I was saying before, like, how may I help you? EB Games? You ever wake up in the middle of the night, or you answer a phone and it's your automatic reaction? So your mom's just like, what? I'm like, honey, it's me. You're not at work, everything's okay.
I'm not that professional to memorize the lines, unfortunately, so that's something I've had to deal with.
It's happened to me once or twice.
Let's go ahead and introduce these teams. And for the Exiles, we're going to have Stiffmeister 7 on the Chimera, V-Man 1989 on the Howitzer, Nasty Nate 1020, I like that name, on the Muriel, on the Master Muriel, Cali Villain 909 on the Greystone, and Harshies on the Murdoch. All
right, and then on to Pretend Pros, and I know it's up there. We'll fix that in a second. On to Pretend Pros. It's gonna be Bry 4407 on the Sparrow. The Nashi God in the mid lane is going to be Bellica. Modler on Feng Mao in the off lane. Vengeance 078 in the jungle on the Crux, and Seaboyer as a support for the Narbash. Yeah, just
this duo lane of the Sparrow and Narbash is probably gonna have a bit of a tough time, because even though they've got the hard CC, the Greystone can usually weather out sort of a sustained assault onto his lane. It's difficult to get that pick.
River buffs are responding right now. Chimera hasn't even cleared out. He's only cleared out 1 camp so far. River buff is going to go blue to Grux. It is looking for a gank, but he is under wards, so they aren't going to be able to get something off. They do rotate over to the other blue buff, but Stiffmeister grabs it and rotates back into his jungle. He's still level 1. If Vengeance does have any awareness on where Stiffmeister is right now, I would be invading that jungle so fast.
Yeah, and it's actually, what's he started with here? He started with an Oasis Siphon, which is, for me, I mean, he just seems to be actually standing in the minions rather than actually kiting the minions. He's took the jump rather than the actual the passive regen. So he's going down very low as he trying to take down his 3 camp. And even without Oasis Siphon and giving him the regen and the lifesteal, he needs to be very careful here.
Yeah, and there is Vengeance going for the smash and grab. Will miss. The thunk does land. However, Greystone is under his tower. Chimera having a rough time in his jungle, as he has to back again. So that's why he's clearing so slow. He's doing a camp and having to back.
I think the Siphons say for like a hero like Grux, I was used to run the sides because you could clear that quickly. They didn't take enough damage. But now with the jungle rework and rebuffs to the minions, they now hurt. Green buff is lethal at level 1.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little more careful. But because Chimera, I think he took his jump first, so he didn't really have the clear. Then he had a waste and siphon, and he doesn't really seem to be kiting the waves. So he's just sort of sitting in there taking the damage, which is putting his team at a detriment because he's not healthy enough to go and help his team on those rotations onto the buffs.
Vengeance does have complete map control in comparison to his jungle counterpart on the other team. He went in for a gank. It was a failed gank. However, he's going to rotate back into his jungle right now. We do see Chimera rotating over the green buff. He's level 3 at 5 minutes, where we see Grux also level 3. I guess the failed gank has evened things out for him. In the mid lane, we do see a purple buff, Bellica. V-Man knows he's around. He's going to rotate over to try and clear that ward out. And it's not going to disappear off my map.
I think it has been. Oh, no, it has been.
I think his blue buff ran out before the other ward could actually take damage.
Ah, could expire, alright, okay.
All right, guys, remember to check out the Matcherino. Help contribute to the prize pool of the exhibition qualifiers. You know, got $15,000 on the line here. That's a big prize pot for our very first official Paragon tournament, run by none other than the lovely Epic Games.
Yeah, Epic Games really stepping up their game, and something that the players and the community as a whole have been asking for, and Epic have done a good job of replying. What a good statement of reply. Just say, here you go, $15,000 tournament.
Grog's going for the gank, lands a smash and grab, goes to the double pain. He's now engaging on to the Murdoch, who might be able to get away. Feng Mao dashing in with the last bit of his mana, and he will not be able to get close to his target as they get to the tier 1 tower. I believe that Harshiz and Muriel could have actually re-engaged and actually won that overall fight. Feng Mao had no mana. Yeah, Feng Mao had no mana, and Grux is looking pretty unhealthy as well.
And they're going back into their own minions as well, and these early sort of ganks, those minions, you got to be really careful because they will chop you down. A lot of the times you'll look at your death recap and thinking, oh, I only took 200 damage from it. Oh, wait a minute. Melee minion, 480 damage. That'll be why. 17 hits.
Oh yeah, so apparently the PCL Matcherino is actually linking to the old PCL Matcherino. Just so everyone's aware of that one.
We will try and get one of the mods to sort that if we can.
Yeah. Basement stream, guys. We're a little more hands-on. It's going to be Howitzer landing the landmine onto Bellica as she drops down the drone. That's going to sap the mana out of the jungler and mid lane on Team Exile.
Yeah, you see there that like with the new drone, I think you see your turrets as well. Anything that's basically laid down from the players now actually takes a good few hits from like 2 players there, so 3 or 4 hits from 2 players rather than 4 hits from just 1 person essentially. So.
At least in the early game.
Yeah.
Like late game, if the ADC is paying attention, then he can chew through that turret in 2 hits, and Bellica drone is just kind of like meh sort of situation.
Cali Villain now has his level 5, so he's got that ultimate up, he's got the Reforged available, so he's now getting a little bit more, I don't want to say cocky, I think that's the wrong word, but he can afford to push more onto this enemy duo lane because he knows he's got that Reforged online. The Narbash only has 1 stun. After that, he's got to look at trying to peel for his ADC, and, you know, the Greystone can start to hurt now. He can start doing that little bit of damage. I'm not sure. Have you had much joy with Greystone? Have you played him since they changed his passive?
I have. I played him the other day, but I didn't build him for damage. I built him full tank with Radiant Mantle and Tainted Magic, and did the most damage in the team.
Right. Okay.
Because Greystone's really good at standing beside someone and being annoying, so why not add Tainted Magic and Radiant Mantle onto that, right?
Okay, I'll have to have a look at that. But it was more to the point of how did you find his passive, the auto attack mitigation rather than the armor value? Did you notice a discernible difference?
I didn't notice. I honestly preferred the old one. Like, it was a stat buff, but it was a stat buff you could see. With that being said, the new passive does have it could be interesting if they were to do it right. In the mid lane, we do see Chimera with purple buff getting ready for a gank. His teammates are trying to rotate in. I don't think they're going to actually commit to anything, though. Bellica is going to clear out the wards. He tries to land the landmine onto Bellica, pushing her into the river, but it won't be enough. Both teams right now looking like they lack a real sense of direction. Like, we have 3 people in the right lane trying to gank the Greystone right now, but he's just going to jump right out of there. We have a 5-man rotate coming out of the blue team right now. But like we said, a bit of organized chaos as the teams are trying to get a gank off. There's a smash and grab and a Warlord's challenge coming out of Vengeance, but I think he might go down as Stiffmeister has to leap up. No, Cali Villain is going to pick it up, and that's first blood 10 minutes into the game. Not something we see very often. Landmine landing onto the Sparrow, giving Stiffmeister a little bit of auto attack capability onto Bry 4407. But yeah, I'm seeing the teams want to have that synergy and want to do something with it, but they're not organizing themselves or synergizing like we usually see.
I think it's difficult for the Exiles right now because they've got that hard engage in the Chimera, but you know, other than that, unless they get good with the howitzer, I think they've got to have the team there to really get a pick, because they haven't got 2 heroes that can really synergize that well to lock someone down long enough to get the damage in this early game. So that's where they're struggling. However, from the Pretend Pros, sorry, I expect a little bit more, because they've got in their kit, in their arsenal, they've got a lot of, you know, they could pair up a, you know, the Grux with the Narbash or the Bellica with the thing. You know, they've got enough in their kit to lock down a hero long enough to really get the damage in and get a kill. We haven't seen those rotations to sort of pull that all together right now.
Yeah, if you want to check out CP farm and builds right now, that would be awesome, because we haven't checked those out in a little while, especially in the last game. There was just so much action.
Yeah, we didn't really have a chance to.
We didn't really have a chance to, right?
So yeah, we just we only have 1 kill to 1 so far. I see the Muriel coming down.
Oh.
This mid lane, trying to protect, keeping the howitzer alive there.
Yeah, and they are going to get away. No kills once again. We are seeing 4- and 5-man engages coming out from both teams, but no kill secures.
Yeah, I think both teams are playing fairly safe, not really pushing those engagements for fear of, you know, getting counter engaged on. Although we do see the Sparrow and the Greystone sort of exchanging pleasantries in this safe lane, but that's going to come to nothing. These two have a history, the Sparrow and the Greystone.
Lore, friends. We have lore here. Personally, I can't wait till the voice lines come in and they add like special voice lines, like in League of Legends. The characters will interact with each other, so if they have any relation, like how Sparrow and Greystone have relation in League, they would bicker with each other. They'd have special voice lines on their like joke abilities or something like that. They would talk to each other, and I can't wait for that in this game. Personally, that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I mean, I think every person has their favorite hero. I think just stuff like that will add more to the depth and the flavor of the game as well. And I think that'll make your favorite hero even more so your favorite, and maybe even create some new favorite heroes just because of the lines.
Yeah, no, it's the voice lines are really what add the character's personality, right? The look, and just how they talk. And personally, like you said, that is what's contributed to my favorite characters in MOBAs before. It's just their personality.
Yeah, that's what brings out the character in them, basically.
We are seeing teams farm away right now. Yeah, farm scored right now. We are seeing 200 for the blue team and 257 for orange. Mid lane, there is engagement as Bellica gets jumped on by a landmine from Howitzer. Stiffmeister going in, landing the cull. But absolutely no damage being done. They use a full rotation from 2 heroes and only got Belica down to half health.
Grux looking for the counter engage.
And there is Grux following in with the Warlord's Challenge. He's going to get the smash and grab onto Stiffmeister. The Make It Rain goes down, as well as the landmine. It will not knock Grux back into the tower. He's going into the river instead. In the right lane, Cali Villain is jumping on top of the tower. He's defending his tower from the Feng Mao as he gets chunked down. For some reason, he's deciding to re-engage under lane with Feng Mao. He's going to get a free knockout of the Reforge. He's going to Reaping Dash out, and that is Greystone's ultimate down for a few minutes. Second tower of the game will go down in the safe lane. Nasty Nate and Harshies will not be able to protect it. They do manage to steal the gold buff as well and rotate away.
For a long time, that was just Nasty Nate up against the Narbash and the Sparrow, doing what he could, but yeah, to no avail. The clear on the Muriel is not terrible, but nothing. You can't really put up with that sort of pressure, especially when you're building as a support Muriel rather than a sort of an off-lane Muriel.
Yeah, just seeing, we also saw Chimera re-engage in there. Well, I'm really surprised right now, because so CP-wise, highest CP in the game right now is at 21. Followed by 16, 15, 15, 16. So both teams are at... There's only one kill in the game. Both teams at relatively even farm.
The 10 pros are starting to creep because they've got the Nanashi God on 19, Modeler on 19, so they're just starting to creep ahead ever so slightly now. Their farm, obviously, with no kills in the game, their farm being better than the enemy team, that only being the discernible trait between the two teams is the farm game. And 10 pros are starting to just, if that's how you have to get your lead in the game, that's how you have to do it, and you know that's how they're going to pull ahead. They think, you know, the team fights are not working, so we're just going to farm better than them and take the fights when we want.
I feel like the teams aren't really prioritizing last hitting right now, though. From what I was seeing, Harshi's only at 83 farm at 16 minutes. Usually we see they should be, I believe, over 100 right now, right? I don't know. I don't know if the farm markers for Paragon very well right now.
It's about 100 at the 20-minute mark.
100 at the 20-minute mark. Okay, so they're not doing too bad. And there is Modeler going down. We do have Muriel rotating over with a late reversal of fortune. Belica drone goes down, smash and grab. It's Nasty Nate with that late rotate from the Muriel. He's gonna pay for that one as the team does come in. However, as a support, your job is to die for the team. So in theory, he succeeded.
He probably turned that from a 2-man kill into a 1-man kill into support. So he'll have his jungler and his offlaner to get out there safely.
Okay, so my map is bugged right now. Just seeing what's going on. A lot of farming. Very quiet game. 2 kills, 3 kills overall in the game now. Score 2-1 in favor of the blue team. I believe.
Like pros are starting to turn the game, you know, turn the pressure for a little. They're trying for those engages, and that would have been 2 kills for them had that not been quick reaction from Nasty Nate there.
Seed Boyer and Bry trying to clear out the mid lane right now. Raptors have been up for the past 10 minutes almost. No one has bothered to rotate over and secure. Harshi is starting to walk back to his tower as the wave is being pushed on the left side. Sparrow dropping down the hail of arrows just to try and get some wave clear off. And he's going to miss a couple of CS in that wave there. Minion wave crashing in once again. Yeah, it's very quiet right now on the map that I can't see. Coming into 19 minutes right now, we're not very used to seeing the games be this slow paced, especially I
think this
19 minutes into the game. My theory is they're newer teams. They don't want to throw. They want to progress. So both teams are probably playing as safe as they possibly can.
Yeah. I can't really blame that. I mean, it might be not a show to watch, but it's, you know, the teams are not playing for our enjoyment at the end of the day. They're playing for their own sort of tournament lifeline, so I can't really blame them for that.
Yeah. And there, as I think we see the Raptors being engaged on now, yeah. And they are going to take the first one. Second one is going to go. Third one, 3 Raptors to the Sparrow, giving her CP advantage. And Stiffmeister's into trouble as he gets hit by the smash and grab. 3v1. Muriel trying to offer the help, but she could just be in trouble as she gets knocked up with Stiffmeister, who gets blown up by the Bellica. And there is Bellica getting another kill.
Yeah, Pretend Pro is starting to turn up the pressure a little bit. That's the second team fight they wanted to take this time, coming off with 2 kills and all 3 Raptors as well.
Yeah, so now I believe that they have the Raptors. I think they're going to show a little bit of confidence and get a little more aggression. Onto the tower for the tower dive. Smash and grab will miss onto the Murdoch. He's now taking damage as Naui knocks him back in.
Oh, good mine.
I'm pretty sure I saw Murdoch go for the laser and Vengeance gets out. All he needed was one more auto attack, but the Narbash with the health regen actually saving his teammate.
I'm surprised that was a very good Howie mine there from V-Man, but just not enough. I think one more tower shot would have done it. But like we said, I think it was the other day when we were casting the game, the tower seemed to sort of hesitate. Like, is it going to get off? Do I fire? Oh, I'll let him off this time.
It's that last shot all the time. You're like, is it going to be enough? Just do it, please. And then sometimes the tower, like RNGesus will say yes. Other times RNGesus says no.
Tower says no.
Tower says no. He's like, I don't want to work today. It's okay.
No one angry at that tower right now than V-Man.
All right. But I think the story of a lot of these games, for newer teams and people who don't have the veteran status or the skill of the traditional Oxys and Finesses, and we say those names a lot, but they are a very good staple and reference point for a high skill competitive play Paragon. But a lot of these teams is they're worried about losing, so it's that farm to 60. Like there's a mentality I notice that they feel like they need to be at 60 before they feel comfortable taking a fight.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable at the very least. But I think when they've had a little bit more tournament experience, they realize, we have to put some sort of pressure on, because otherwise the game goes so slow paced, and if you wait till you're 60, that's when death time has become
too long. Yeah.
Issue that if you get team wiped, you lose the game. So they have to try and any sort of advantage they get, they have to sort of take. And I think it's what Pretend Pro is. They're starting to come into the game a little bit more now. They're starting to get those engagements, getting a little bit braver now. I think that's what we needed, that engagement around Raptor, that little bit of a friction point where it caused a fight. And as soon as the fight happened, they saw that they could do something. So hopefully they carry on with that momentum they have.
And there is Modeler and Calivillain duking it out in the right lane. Reaping Dash will actually land. V-Man tries to get the R2000 rocket, but it will miss. And the conversion shield from Feng Mao is burned out. There's the quenching skills and Honor the Pure. Coming out mid lane to your tower does go down. No one dead just yet. Feng Mao building very utility this game. He has an Honor the Pure as well as a quenching skills being built. 2 Madstone gems. So that will definitely be something to look at. On the rest of his team, we're seeing a finished quenching skills coming out of Narbash and a Honor the Pure as well. So two Honor the Pures and 2 quenching skills for the orange team right now.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of blinks coming out as well. The Grux has picked up a stab blink, and the Pelican picked up the color blink.
There is going to be 2 going down. Stiffmeister trying to stop the enemy team from engaging any further. Might not be enough because the thunk goes out. Smash and grab does land, and Bry picks up a double kill.
Yeah, that was a weird engagement from the Chimera for me. It just seen the carry go down and decided to jump in a 3v1. I know Chimera is kind of blood hungry, but that seemed a little bit reckless to me.
For me, I feel like when you're playing Chimera, the only way you can actually go is forward. Because
there's no S button on Chimera's keyboard.
Yeah, no.
Just a W.
Well, just a W, because you have to keep those health regen stacks up. And that's what's keeping you alive in team fights. So if you're in there and the team fight starts to look like it's going south, the safest thing for a Chimera to do, this is in my opinion now, like I'm not the greatest with Chimera, but for me, the safest thing you can do is just keep hitting. Try and backpedal a little. Don't hit the S button. Just press W and then turn around a little bit. But you need to keep hitting, because that health regen is probably the only thing that's going to keep you alive.
Yeah, as we see all 3 Raptors go there to pretend pros, and they're starting to push a little bit more on. They've got the wind in the tails right now. Their tails are up. They think they can win this game. They managed to get that good team fight over on the left-hand lane. Came back, took the enemy jungle, then rotate straight onto Raptors. So they're in the ascendancy right now, and hopefully we're going to see a little bit more conflict in this game as they grow more and more confident in their ability to team fight.
Yeah, I want to see both teams start to show some pressure and some aggression, which we might actually see going in the left side of the map, as Modler has blue buff and black buff. He's going to use the Raping Dash onto Muriel, but won't be enough. She does get away as she used the Alacrity Orb to speed boot out of there.
And this is what I wanted to see. Some more conflicts, and the 10 pros are looking to do that.
I'm very surprised that Exile's a blue team, right? Just
it is, yeah.
It is, because we haven't been familiar with the rosters, so just off the top of my head. With that being said, Exile had the capability of turning around on that Feng Mao before the dual lane from Pretend Pros showed up. They didn't. Probably worked out in their favor, because it would have been a 2v2 with them at half health very quickly.
I mean, even though they're taking their advantage, they just managed to take a free tier 2 there. So even if not even things up, that's the first tier 2 of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, even though the team fights, they're not looking to do the team fights. They are doing sort of I think what they're calling in Dota as rat pushing, where they sort of try and sneak towers. And we know Greystone excels at that sort of thing, where he knows he's tanky enough and has the escape to maybe go and push a tower as far as he can until he gets a 2-man rotation at the very least to come and answer him, and then he'll just move and allow the team to put pressure somewhere else. So I think that's what they need to do, is to try and get that Greystone pushing up a lane and putting pressure onto a lane, allowing the rest of the team, once 2 people are pulled over, to deal with the Greystone, because we know he's a difficult man to deal with at times, then take a 4v4.
Oh, Vengeance going in with the stab blink. He has the black buff, he has the green. Sifmeister lands the cull, and he's gonna have to dash out as the entire team rotates over. No one was near Vengeance. He engaged all by himself, and if anyone followed up on that one, it would have been great if anyone was around. There is them both jumping on top of each other. Smash and grab, followed by the crash bang boom and the Sparrow ultimate. The Nashi God's going to kill the Chimera. Hauser jumping up now to land the Make It Rain, as Muriel goes for the Reversal of Fortune onto Murdoch, who's under the tower. They're now in between them and the towers that they need for safety. Bry getting the next kill will be Howitzer going down, as Modler under the tier 2 doing what he can. There's Narbash just securing the kill onto Murdoch, making sure they're not spending too much time under the tower, taking too much damage. Calivision going in, Calivillain going under there now, trying to do what he can to stop the T2 from going down, but it does, and now he's 4v1. Smash and grab, Reforge goes off, the team will peel away. Bry stuck in there right now. Calivillain looking to get away. Slow knock up and kill Modler with the hamstring to finish that one off. And that's going to be a full team wipe.
5-man wipe. And this is what we said, where the CC makes a difference, because they were able to lock down that Greystone long enough. And probably going to get an inhibitor out of this. Inhibitor simply melting.
See, when you have a Chimera needs follow-up. He needs CC. He needs another frontliner.
There's nothing worse than a Chimera. When you're a Seb Chimera, when you do that hard engage and team.
Oh, Chimera going for the ultimate, but Modler popping out onto the Pure to absorb the entire damage of it. However, Stiffmeister has the mana, and he's going to try and jump back in. Seaboyer is nearby. He would land the Thunk if Chimera went any further, so he knows he needs to back off. Won't be able to pick himself up a kill. That's another tier 2 down, on top of a tier 2 and an inhibitor in the mid lane. Raptors are coming up, and the team is looking to back instead of stick around to pick them up. black buff on the map and a red buff. That's a very damage-oriented river buff there.
So Pretend Pro is now at 12 kills to Exiles 2 kills, so they're really getting into their stride now. Took a little get in there, but now we're starting to see, as the map opened up and those tier 1s all went down, the map started to open up a little bit. Although we've still got the mid-tier tier 1 tower up for the orange side, but the map's opened up a little bit, so we're starting to see those conflicts more, and more jungle invades. Are either teams going to start looking at Prime now?
I'm not too sure. Like we said, we've seen...
I don't think Exiles wanted to start it because it's probably not in their favor too. It's probably better for them to wait for the Pretend Pros to go in it and then counter engage. So I don't think we're going to see them going in it, but the Pretend Pros feel like they need it to try and finish this game out. They've got that all-important first inhibitor down that, you know, sets the sort of tone for the game. So they've got the pressure going into that lane all throughout the match now.
And we are seeing the teams engage onto each other once again. There is Nanashi God trying to get the seismic assault down onto the Muriel. Won't be in range though, just out of reach. 3:36 into the game right now. 30:36 into the game right now. As the River Rust are going to be spawning. We had a black and a red last rotation. Kind of curious to see what we're going to get this time. Maybe a purple, maybe a black. Either of those would probably help, I believe, the orange team, Pretend Pros, to get another bit of aggression off. And there is going to be a purple buff, like we just said. Vengeance actually double painting the buff and missing. He is...
It happens to the best of us, mate. It happens to the best.
It does. In the right lane, we are seeing Caliban get engaged on once again. Crash, bang, boom coming out. Hamstring goes out. It will miss. And now Nanashi God is there, going to land the drone to drain the mana of the Greystone. Reaping Dash coming in from Feng Mao. He has his ultimate. He burns the Reforge. And then Modeler is going to take the gold buff just to make sure, as Nasty Nate now rotating to help peel for the enemy team. We have a 3v3 as blue team is trying to disengage and get away from the Pretend Pros. The Thunk goes out onto Muriel, who could be in a bit of trouble. Nanashi God is there. Seismic Assault will not land, but he does get the kill. And no, there's Harshiz with the Murdoch picking up a kill from base. Using the long arm of the law. Bry now onto the tower with V-Man there. Team rotating in to help out. We have a 3v4. Nanashi God going to blow up the howitzer. Stiffmiser gets a kill onto the Sparrow. Another inhibitor is going to go down in the meantime, as Stiffmiser jumping back onto the Feng Mao, who uses the quenching scales to get some health and peel away. I'm pretty sure Stiffmiser got lost for a second there, because he spun in a circle trying to swing at something.
Yeah, I think what happened there, I think the Grux pushed very deep. I'm pretty sure it was on the core at one point, chasing the Murdoch, and the Murdoch just turned around with the snipe and went, not today, son.
Yeah, and with that, there was a very big minion wave being built up in favor of the Exiles. So they're actually losing. They're going to do some tower and some inhibitor damage. Sorry, words.
Yeah, Feng Mao having to ult the wave there just to try and clear this. They've realised how much damage this thing can do.
Once those ranged minions start getting under those towers,
yeah,
they could start to hurt. Yeah,
they really hate tower.
They have a bone to pick. A tower killed their wife.
Normal minions hate towers and claws, but the siege minions have a real grudge.
I mean, you know, like you killed my son. Now I need to get vengeance. Like what people don't know is that all the minions are related. It's one big happy family. And just they mean blood, right? They mean business.
Continually being reborn just to try and pack down towers and getting shot by heroes.
I wonder, like, what it's like to be a minion. Engagement off in the mid lane right now, as we do have Vengeance getting knocked away by the landmine from the house, so he's going to dash back in. The stab link should be coming up. There it is, but he doesn't. Oh, and there's a smash and grab on two, followed by the clap from the Warlord's challenge. Bry picking up the kill, and Bellica trying to get the ultimate off, but the person is already dead, teleblinking in to Cali Villain. They're trying to get the Murdoch. They won't